Dear students, we have already learned in our previous classes as to how to treat certain items in the final accounts of non-trading concerns. In this video on final accounts of non-trading concern, that is 7th video, we will take up some problems and see how the items are treated for calculation of different item of the income and expenditure account as well as balance sheet. We will take up a problem number 1. I'll go through the problem. In the year 2018-19, the subscriptions received were 4,75,000, which include 12,000 for 17-18 and 21,000 for 19-20. So that means 4,70,000 out of 4,75,000, 12,000 should be deducted because that is not relating to the accounting year 18-19. So that should be deducted from 4,75,000. Similarly, 21,000 received for 19-20. 19-20 means next year. So that is received in advance, and therefore that is not the income of current year. Therefore, it should be deducted. So out of 4,75,000, 12,000 is relating to 17-18, but received this year. Therefore, it should be deducted because it is not relating to this year. Similarly, 21,000 received in advance, that is relating to next year. That is not the income of the current year. Therefore, it should be deducted. So both these items are to be deducted from 4,75,000. Similarly, at the end of 18-19, subscriptions outstanding were 15,000. So this is the income of current year, but you have not received. Though you have not received, you have to add it to the subscriptions received because you are preparing the income and expenditure account on accrual basis. That is subscription already received as well as outstanding. Whereas if subscriptions received were relating to last year or next year, they are to be excluded from the current year the subscriptions received during the year. In the year 2017-18, the subscriptions were received in advance for 18-19. Last year, you have received the subscriptions for the current year. Actually, that is the income of current year, but received last year. Though it is received last year, since it is the income of current year, that should be added to current year subscriptions. So this item should be added. So thus, first two items, they are to be deducted because they are not relating to current year. Next, 15,000 should be outstanding for the current year. Since it is the income of current year, it should be added. Similarly, subscriptions received in advance during the year. Last year subscriptions were received for the current year. Therefore, since it is the income of current year, that should be added. So that is how you have to show that in the income and expenditure account on the credit side. So the question is, what amount should be credited to the income and expenditure account for the year 18-19 as subscriptions in the case of non-trading concern? I have explained, again you just see up. Subscriptions received in 18-19, 4,75,000, this is the value. That includes 12,000 for the last year. Therefore, that is not the income of the current year. Therefore, it is deducted here, 12,000. So you will get 4,63,000 after deduction. Similarly, the subscription received this 4,75,000 includes 21,000 relating to next year. Therefore, that is also deducted because that is not the income of current year. Then you get 4,42,000 after deduction. Then say 15,000 rupees, that is the subscription outstanding during the current year. It has accrued. You earned it, you are entitled to receive that, but you are not received. Therefore, that is added. Similarly, last year you have received the subscription of current year. That is the income of this year, not last year. since it is the income of this year though received last year, that should be added. So thus after adjustment what you get is 4,76,500. This should be credited to income and expenditure account of 2018-19. So that's about this problem. Similar problems you will get in the examinations. Therefore, you have to study these type of problems. We'll take up one more problem here. From the following particulars, calculate the amount of income and expenditure account to be shown in the income and expenditure account for the year ending 31st March 2020. I'll explain the items one by one. So how you show it in the income and expenditure account? So that is the question. Okay. Fees received in cash in 2020. So this is an item of receipt. 1,10,000. Fees received. Okay. Expenses paid in cash. So this is an expense paid. Fees received in advance as on 31st 12/2020. So this year 2020 at the end. So we assume that accounting year ends on 31st December, not March. In that case, this is received in advance. Since it is received in advance, that is not the income of current year. So that should be deducted from the fees received. Fees accrued but not received as on 31st 12/2020. That means these are the incomes of the current year, but you have not received. Fees have accrued, you have earned, you are entitled to receive, but not received. That is the income of current year. That should be added. Outstanding expenses on 1/1/2020 relating to expenses outstanding at the beginning of the year. That means last year they were outstanding. Therefore, expenses paid this year 30,000 includes payment for the last year, that is 600. So that should be deducted. That should be deducted because that is not the expense of current year. 1/1/2020 is equal to 31st 12/2019. That means at the end of the last year. So that's relating to last year. Last year it was outstanding. You are not paid. So this year's 30,000, you would assume that includes payment for the last year. So that should be deducted. Fees accrued but not received as on 1/1/20. So fees earned, accrued, but you have not received last year. That means these 1,10,000 includes 1,200 fees received this year, but relating to last year. Therefore, that should be deducted. That's not the income of this year. That should be deducted. Prepaid expenses on 1/1/2020. That means last year you have paid for 2020. In 2019, 31st December, these were prepaid. So that is paid for the current year. So that is the income of, expense of the current year. Therefore, it should be added to expenses paid 30,000. So it should be added. Outstanding expenses on 31st 12/20. That means that is the current year expense. You are not paid. Though you are not paid, since we prepare the income and expenditure account on accrual basis, that should be added. All the expenses of the current year, whether paid or not, that should be taken. Similarly, all the incomes of current year, whether received or not, that should be taken, as long as they have accrued or incurred. Fees received in advance on 1/1/2020 at the beginning of the year, that means last year, received this year's income you have received last year. Since that is the income of current year, though received last year, it should be added to the income of current year. So to the fees received, this item should be added because it is received last year, but it is the current year income. Prepaid expenses on 31st 12/2020. That means this year at the end you have paid for next year. It is for next year, not for this year. That is not the expense of current year. Therefore, 500 should be deducted from expenses. So that should be deducted from expenses. So that's about the treatment of these items. See the calculation here. Fees received. First we are taking the fees received. And what is the amount to be credited to income and expenditure account after all adjustment, that you have to find out. So fees received in cash 1,10,000. See, fees received in advance during the year, and it is for next year. That's not the income of this year, therefore deducted. Fees accrued but not received. Fees accrued, and that is the income of this year, but you are not received. Whether you are received or not, that should be added as long as it is the income of current year. Similarly, see, fees accrued but not received as on 1/1/2020. That means last year they were outstanding. So we have to assume that this 1,10,000 includes yes, 1,200 received this year but relating to last year. Therefore, it should be deducted. Similarly, fees received in advance last year. Actually, that is the fee of this year. Though received in advance last year, that is the income of this year. So since it is the income of this year, it should be added. So the guiding principle is, as far as income is concerned, as long as you earn, or if the income has accrued, you are entitled to receive. Whether received or not, full 12 months amount should be taken. But if amount received includes last year's income or next year's income, that should be excluded. Okay, so that is the guiding principle as well as income is concerned. As far as expenditure is concerned, as long as it is accrued, entire amount of the current year should be taken, whether you have paid or not. Paid plus outstanding, both are to be taken. Similarly, if expenses paid this year includes some amount relating to last year or next year, that should be excluded or deducted. So that is the principle. Okay, that's about fees received, which is to be credited here. 1,08,400 should be credited to income and expenditure. Come to the next one. See, expenses paid 30,000, outstanding on 1/1/20. That means on 31/12/2019. That is the last year's expense, but you are paying this year. Out of 30,000, this is included, therefore it should be deducted because it is not relating to current year. Prepaid expenses on 1/1/20, that means last year at the end you have paid for current year. That is the expense of current year, therefore that should be added. Outstanding expenses as on 31/12/2020, that means this year's expense not paid, but it is the expense of this year, so it should be added. So thus the total amount is 31,400. Of course, one more item is there. Prepaid expenses at the end of the year, that means that is not the expense of current year, therefore that should be deducted. So that should be deducted because that is the income of next year, not current year. So after adjusting all these things, what you get is 30,300. So this should be debited to income and expenditure. So this problem is solved. Now we will take up one more problem here. Find out the capital expenditure and revenue expenditure from the following. Carriage paid on newly purchased machinery. So carriage paid on newly purchased machinery. It is on fixed asset. Any expenses incurred for bringing the asset into the business should be capitalized. That's a capital expenditure. That's a capital expenditure and not revenue. That's not recurring in nature. Whereas carriage paid on purchase of goods is revenue expenditure. Legal expenses on purchase of land. So this again is the expense of purchasing an asset. Therefore that is to be added to an asset. That is a capital expenditure. And that does not recur. Carriage paid on goods purchased, as I already told you, that's on purchase of goods which is meant for resale, recurring in nature, therefore that should be taken as revenue expenditure. Spent on painting a newly constructed building. So at the time of construction of building, you may paint the building, so that's part of the cost of the asset, therefore that is capital expenditure. But if you go for painting of old building in order to maintain it, then it is a revenue expenditure. So this is newly constructed building, therefore that's part of construction, so it is a capital expenditure. Cost of air conditioning the office. So air conditioning, so it is a capital expenditure and therefore entire amount should be taken as capital expenditure. Repairs to air conditioning, I mean in that case it could be a revenue expenditure. Repairs to meeting hall, recurring in nature for maintaining, therefore it is revenue expenditure. Repair charges to vehicles, that is to maintain the vehicles, and therefore that is recurring in nature, that is revenue expenditure. So you have to maintain the vehicles in good condition, so it must be usable, and therefore that is taken as revenue expenditure. Maintenance expenses. Cost of repairing the second-hand machine before it is put to use. Say a useless machine which was not in a working condition, that's being thoroughly repaired and then it is put to use. Therefore that is a capital expenditure that will enhance the revenue earning capacity of that machine. Therefore that is a capital expenditure. Ordinary repairs to machine, that is taken as revenue expenditure. Honorarium paid to secretary, so it is a day-to-day expense. Every month you have to pay the honorarium to the secretary normally, therefore it is revenue expenditure, recurring in nature. Cost of installing lights and fans, it is connected to the fixed assets and therefore that is part of capital expenditure, so taken as capital, so it should be added to fixtures and lighting and fixtures. And next, interest paid on loan taken for purchasing a machinery. Purchasing a machinery, though it is for purchase of machinery, you have to pay the interest regularly. Every year you have to pay the interest on the loan, even though it is taken for purchasing the machinery. Therefore it is recurring in nature, therefore that's a revenue expenditure. Employee state insurance premium paid, this is again recurring in nature. Every year you have to pay or every month you have to pay, depends, and therefore it is recurring and that is taken as revenue expenditure. Okay, we'll see the classification. See the capital expenditure, total capital expenditure. Carriage paid on newly purchased machinery, any expenses incurred in purchasing the asset and bringing the asset into the business, installing that or erecting that, all these are considered to be capital items, capital expenditure. So carriage paid on newly purchased machinery, legal expenses on purchase of land, spent on painting a newly constructed building, if it is old one, revenue. Cost of air conditioning the office, cost of repairing the second-hand machine before it is put to use, it will enhance the earning capacity. Otherwise, ordinary repair on machine would have been revenue expenditure. Cost of installing lights and fans, that's also capital expenditure. Now, carriage paid on goods purchased, yes, revenue, recurring in nature. Goods are meant for resale. Repairs to meeting hall, maintenance of the fixed asset meeting hall. Repairing charges to vehicles, vehicles must be in good conditions, so that must be maintained, otherwise it cannot be used, and therefore or its efficiency will decrease, therefore it has to be maintained. Maintenance expenses, revenue. Honorarium paid to secretary regularly, that should be paid, it's a recurring item, so revenue expenditure. Interest paid on loan taken for purchasing machinery, so you have to pay the interest regularly, very often, and therefore it is not enough if you pay the interest in the year of purchase, therefore it is recurring in nature. Employee state insurance premium paid, that should be paid, premium should be paid very often, depending upon the terms of agreement, maybe yearly, or that depends. So that is recurring in nature, so that is taken as revenue expenditure. So if you total up 7,600, and therefore that is the treatment of this problem. So I have completed this video. Thank you very much for listening to me.